There's something in the library to fill a gap in everybody's life, and there's no cost. It opens the world. Whatever your world is, there's no stopping a library.
In 1977, this library opened, and it was a very big thing. People were so excited.
My friend Paula Scott and I decided that the day that Clark opened, we were going to take off work and be the first ones in the building. So we came down a half hour before it opened, and there were other people behind us, but we were, I think, the first two people let into the new building.
As Omaha was growing and suburbia was expanding, downtown needed to take on a new role. And the library was a great success. Initially, it really served as that western anchor for the downtown area. It was an extension of the park and the public space, and really, I think, as a symbol of pride for the city. That was a major investment at the time, and I think, it served a great purpose.
We had 4 floors. I worked on the 4th floor in the language literature department. Lots of books, lots of reference material, print reference material. It was just a great, happening place back then. The park right outside of the other Jean Leahy Mall was brand new at that time.
At that time, I liked the colors, I liked the atrium. It was so nice to see something that was so brand new. At that point, we didn't have computers. So all the publicity was done with typing and cut and paste. The idea of moving downtown really hadn't started. So our population wasn't really a population of the individual families and so forth. It was more people that happened to be working downtown that would come in. A lot of regulars.
It was a library has so many resources, the genealogy department, the business department. We had really dedicated librarians. A lot of the employees that, when I came, had been here for many, many years, but they were very good to me, and it was a family.
We had a lot of activities here, from events to press conferences to meetings. In fact, the farmers market, I could say, got its start here at the W. Dale Clark Library, because that was the very first meeting I had back in about 87, 88 to help create the first farmers market in Omaha.
In the early 90s, you were basically transitioning from print material to the digital material, so it was a very exciting time.
I remember when we didn't have the internet and just started getting the computers. It was like $1 million project at the time. So it was something that was really coming into the forefront, and we needed to be on that bandwagon.
I remember in the early days of the internet when people were trying to get a phone number to some business in New York, and you would just, voila, here's the phone number, and people would just think like you were just like some genius that you could do this, like you had some magical key to the information world that nobody else had.
By the 2000s, the library had become much more proactive about community service. And you have the Michael Phipps Art Gallery and local history and art exhibits. We've always had meeting rooms that are free to the public. You have community events that the library sponsors. You have speakers.
We have changed how things are arranged in the library, but the general look of it has really not changed very much. The building itself has been pretty just eternal.
W. Dale Clark Library is an amazing spot. The dynamic has been to really do a lot in the community, to hold a lot of events, to bring people in, to provide resources for this community. I love not just the poetry events they do, but the art events, music and movement classes for little kids, story times for all ages, Minecraft sessions for people to drop in on. It shows what Omaha values is, knowledge, books, art.
We really are a place for people to just come and be. And it doesn't matter your education level, it doesn't matter your social status, it also doesn't matter your technology knowledge. We are here to provide something for everyone.
That can be everyone from neighboring schools and child care centers, teen groups that come and visit the library. It could be people in their business attire popping in on their lunch hour to pick up a book, grab a bite to eat, just to have a quiet place. We also see and hear, more importantly, from individuals and families who are in need. I think that's one of the most noble and important services that our library staff offers the community.
The behind the scenes of when the public needs help and how the staff interacts and how they go above and beyond to help with questions that you would not even think that's within their job.
It's extremely important for young people. There's so many programs and activities to help those who don't have the resources at home. There's just so much that library offers besides books.
It brings everybody together. And I think that's the role of libraries, past, present, and future.
The Jean Leahy Ball was the perfect setting for bubble days. Some people might tell you that I'm the bubble lady. We did these family fun nights, and we'd have a theme, whether it was competition or building things. Usually there was something cooking going along. And since the building is so unique, I thought, what an opportunity to drop things from the second and third floor. We also had an animal show that one summer where one of the animals with wings got a little bit loose and was flying all over and down. I just did a lot of things here that I couldn't have done anywhere else. But stories are important to the kids. Stories are what help us grow.
You know, I've spent so much time in this building, you could almost say that I kind of grew up in this building and all that. I got to tell you, there's those moments like right before you open when the sun was coming in through the east side of the building, casting the shadows on the stacks. That was, you know, the quiet before it got really busy. I've always enjoyed that.
For me, it was like a wonderland. 4 different floors of all the books you could ever want, the really neat view of the park and the buildings on the other side. It was just the coolest place in the world to me growing up.
Up on the 4th floor, looking to the east, we would host firework watch parties for our donors on New Year's Eve. And that was always a really special time to be up in the library after it's closed. So that, and I think just knowing the history of this building and then being able to come here to work every day as part of my role has been very special.
I think the memory I have is of the people that I worked down here, because everybody that worked here were so committed to library service. It's a remarkable group of people that really care about what they're doing.
The building itself has been a great experience, but really the staff make the library what it is, which is an awesome place to work and an awesome service for the community.
I did not wake up and say I'm going to be a librarian or work in the library field one day. It just kind of happened, and then before you knew it, a job turned into a career. People in Omaha love their libraries. It really does make your job easier, and it's great to be part of this.
It is amazing to hear the stories of Dale Clark, how much people loved and cherished that library and used it sometimes daily, sometimes weekly, sometimes just once in a while they would show up, but it meant something to them.
When we had the party for people to come and say goodbye, one of the staff painted a wall where people could write on the wall and write their stories, and it was just so touching to know how important that branch was.
The heartbeat of the library is not exclusively in its brick and mortar, it really is in the people, and the people that make the library so special are not going anywhere. The mission of what we are and what we do every day we unlock our doors, I don't think it's going to stray that far from where we are today.
When I look at our new Jones Street downtown location and the potential of what we are going to see in that space and what we are seeing transformed on the blueprints of that space, I think people are going to fall in love with it. I think it's going to make everyone really happy when they find their place to be in it.
I've seen the plans and I am beyond excited. It's like the fulfillment of a dream to see it happen. And this whole discussion of the new library, if nothing else, has shown how much the general public cares about its libraries.
Really kind of exciting to see just some of the new construction that they can put into this and really tailor that to the new programs and services that libraries today are offering. I think that's really exciting to see.
It's a pivotal time, which it's difficult for people to live in the middle of change. I'm focusing on the outcomes, and the opportunities that will be available to us are really tremendous. And I think this is a huge step forward for us, and I'm looking forward to what is on the other side.